All right. Let's get started. Enough of you guys listening to me talk. I'm Monica Weekly. If you've been on any of these seminars, webinars, you know that I host them. And I get great joy out of that because I get to sit and listen to people like Karen Coffey talk to us about what they know best. And so this is part of a series. It's the Espresso Agent Mastery Session Series. We do them about twice a month. And they're awesome. We go out, find top talent, coaches, real estate agents, and they volunteer an hour of their time with us just to share so we can continue to grow and learn. And that's the good people at Espresso Agent doing that because they don't just care about supplying you data. They really, really want to see you succeed. So good for you guys for taking an hour out of your time and doing some personal growth. Love that. A couple housekeeping things. First of all, the reason I look like I'm in some sort of a, I don't even know. Karen, how would you describe this color we got going on?
I don't know. It's rather yellow.
It's really bad. I am on vacation and I'm in a hotel room that happens to have really muted lighting and yellow walls. So that's why.
A gorgeous hotel. It is. I have been there. It is beautiful beyond beautiful. So you are at the top of the line.
You're right. It is great. I'm in Asheville at the Omni Growth Parking. And if you guys have ever been here, you should come.
Beautiful.
Okay, housekeeping. As you'll note, you guys are on mute, and that is only for your listening pleasure because we find when we open those microphones up, it's chaos. So we've muted everybody, but that doesn't mean we don't want to hear from you guys. Please, please, please participate. Karen wants questions. You guys have an hour of one of the best coaches and agents in the entire business. Let's take advantage of it, okay? So no question is off the table. If you're thinking it, somebody's probably thinking it as well. Please be the hero and ask the question. If I can, I'll interject the question with Karen at that time. If I can't, we'll circle back to it at the end. We've got an hour together, so maybe Karen, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes, and then some Q&A, unless we're doing it along the way.
Yeah.
Sound good?
And my life is an open book. Whatever you guys need, I'm here to give it to you.
Oh, well, we can ask all kinds of questions. Okay.
No. Let's just keep it business.
That's right. All right, one other question, last question before we get started. Everyone always asks on every one of these webinars is, can I go back and watch this again? And the answer is yes. Espresso Agent has a YouTube channel, and it's amazing, and they load these videos up. You can go there and watch lots of past videos from other coaches and agents with the topic at the bottom. So if you're trying to excel or lean into something in your business, go check out their YouTube channel. I don't think they post it right away because they do a little bit of editing. So, but look for it in a couple days, okay? With that, let's get started. Let me introduce to you Karen Coffey. She's been on our webinar series before, and only the best get asked back to Karen. So there you go. Here's what's coolest about Karen. Karen can relate to just about everybody because at one point she was living in a friend's basement and basically was a homeless single mom and needed to succeed in this business and had no excuses and saw no brick walls in front of her that she couldn't march through. And in 100 days, put $100,000 GCI on the books. How would we like that? That'd be pretty good. She's an author. She's a coach. She owns her own coaching firm, Karen Coffey, Making Agents Wealthy. And then she has teams in several different states, down in North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, I think you said. So today, what do you got for us, Karen?
Oh, I got it good.
Good, take it away.
I am sharing my favorite thing. Do I have, and I want you guys to put it in the chat, do I have permission to go deep today, or do you guys just want to keep it surface level and shallow? I want to hear in the chat what you guys want, because I need your permission. Because I may offend. What do you think, Monica?
I say go deep. And
deep.
You know, I'm the only one with a microphone, so let's go.
That's right. I want them to, people are typing it in the chat. I'm not going to go deep unless you guys put it in the chat. So.
We're getting deep. Everybody's in.
Listen, a lot of presentations, you have guys come on here and they'll tell you a funny story and they'll tell you all these things. I'm just going to dive right in because I respect your time and I want to get to the good stuff, get to your questions. This is, like Monica said, I was homeless living in my girlfriend's basement. I moved to a brand new market. So when I hear agents say, oh, but I'm brand new in my market, I get it. It's scary, but there is no excuse. So there's nothing that you can't overcome, guys. This is today, I'm going to be sharing how to make $500,000 in half the time. So how cool is that? I'll be working with you to expand your vision. I'm going to be talking with you about the different pitfalls that create this from happening, what you need to do to make $500,000 in less time. We ended up closing that first year just under $500,000 at $470,000 for that first year in a brand new market where I was homeless. So guys, I tell you, I didn't do it alone. I got on my knees and cried a lot. I'm not going to lie. It was horrible, but I want you to walk away with something today. And Monica, thank you so much. You and I just have a great synergy and a great bond, being just real go-getters. And for all of you on the call, just keep showing up, being consistent. So that's what I have to share with you guys today. Now, if you want, get your sheet of paper, get a pen, take notes. I'm going to go fast. You can rewatch it like Monica said, but I want you to write something down. I want you to write, the less I work, the more I make. The less I work, the more I make. Now I'm going to be shifting some beliefs here because your first inclination is like, what? But you remember that everything takes as long as we give it. So remember when you were in high school and your teacher said, here's an assignment and you have 2 weeks to do it. When did you do it?
Last day.
Last day. That's right. And if they said it's due in 2 days, when did you do it?
Right away.
Right away. So what I'm telling you guys is that you think you may have a belief system around it's going to take me 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years. And why do you believe that? Because all the agents around you are showing you proof that that's how long it takes. So I'm here to show you proof it doesn't take that long. It takes less than a year to get to that $500,000 mark. So I want you to know it doesn't also take 50, 60, 70 hours a week if you do it right. So let's just dive in. The first thing you need to do is expand your vision. Think bigger. You guys are struggling and juggling and out there making it happen. You're overwhelmed. There's no inventory. There's multiple offers. And people in your offices or market centers are looking at you and they're saying, here's how you do it. I would share with you, because there is a correlation, I would share with you that you want to look at their income level before you start taking people's opinions. Got it? Don't look at other people's opinions if they're making $30,000 a year and there's a boatload of them out there. So I'm going to tell you, just be careful who you listen to. Go with those people who've been there, done that, and can actually share with you. But in order to expand your vision, I'm going to share some stats with you. The National Association of Realtors has quoted that it takes 52 hours on average to close one transaction. On average. That's from the time you get a lead, to the time it closes. We know that some take maybe 10. They don't take that much, right? Others take, God, it seems like 100 hours. We're just like, oh my God, somebody shoot me. So on average, about 52 hours. That lends us to believe that as a single agent, we really can only close one transaction a week if we're working 52 hours. Do you know how many transactions it would take in your market to close $500,000? So you might have to do some math. What's your average sales price? What's your commission rate? I'm going to do just average numbers for the country. You know, around the US, that average sales price is somewhere between $2 and $250. So if you are looking to do $500,000, you're looking at closing about 7 transactions a month. That's it. That's it. Now I know if you don't have any, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to do one. Well, I don't know how to tell you how to do one, but I do know how to help you do 5, 6, or 7. So if you can, I want you to just expand that, because you will start focusing on, I just want one. And what happens? You close one month, none the next, one the next month, one, and you're just on this roller coaster. So the challenge to closing $500,000 in half the time is, number one, you're not thinking big enough. So I really want you to find out what the numbers are for you. Because if you will say to yourself, you know what, I don't know how I close 7 transactions this month. I just know I'm going to. I know I'll get the information. I'll figure it out. You will. Something will come into your subconscious. You'll get inspiration. You'll get ideas. That's what you want to listen to, and then you'll go do it. But also you hang around the people that know how to do it. So by the end of today's call, webinar, you're going to have some real tools that you can use. And excuse my background, Monica was talking about how she's traveling. This is our company motor coach, and it is, we're just traveling all over the country, just meeting agents and talking in different brokerages and all sorts of things. So this is my home on wheels for the next.
I love that that's a motor coach. First of all, it looks super nice. Second of all, I mean, who does that? Good for you.
I just, why not?
Why not is right. Yeah.
I want you guys to live the best life, and I'll tell you, this is a far cry from, figuring eating ramen noodles in that basement with my son.
There you go.
I am very grateful today. So anyway, so, that is the step one, is thinking bigger. And I know you guys hear that all the time. Oh, think bigger and vision and all this stuff. But if you don't, you cannot expand. Your business will expand to whatever parameters you give it. So you have this box. You're going to grow and swell to fill that box. You've got to make the box bigger, obviously. It's just kind of simple math. So that's the very first thing that you guys want to do. The second you really want to focus on is run your business like a business. I had a coach tell me one time, she said, Karen, and I do have a coach, and I still have a coach today, and she said, Karen, are you a hoe or are you a beau? I was like, what?
Right? That's awesome.
Do I have to answer that? And what she was saying was, are you a hobby owner or are you a business owner?
That's great. I love that.
Oh my God. So I said, I'm a beau. I am not a hoe. So anyway, it got my attention, and I hope it got your attention too, because if we aren't running it like a business, that means we don't have systems. We're not investing. We're not putting money back in. You guys, you cannot do this on a Band-Aid. You cannot build a business that's $500,000 a year. Some of you are just wanting to make $100,000 a year, and I get it. I remember the day I would have been glad with $10. It's okay. No judgment here, but the struggling, the worrying, the staying up at night, door knocking, cold calling, that, I want to say a bad word, that stuff is no, just no. It's 2018, guys. Stop. Just stop. And do something that is actually going to build a brand, build a legacy, build a business where you can be traveling. I'm not saying that this life is for everybody, but where you can have teams and not even be there, not even be with them. You can make it as big as you want to. So, of course, I'll be open to your questions later, about how to do that. Some of those systems, Espresso is one, and this is not a commercial for Espresso. Honest to God, every one of our teams uses Espresso. Hands down. It is your auto dial, those expireds, your voicemail, your Cole Realty resource in one platform. You get it done, and you don't have to be paying out all of these crazy fees, to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the systems, but there's systems like, how do I hire? How do I leverage? How do I get more leads than I can handle? You got to have a system for that. You can't, in this day and age, and a lot of it's automated. You just can't, you can't wait. Mm-hmm. Referrals, great. That's awesome. Work that referral, but that's just one layer. We like to layer our business like a cake. There's one layer, and then there's 7 layers to a fully functioning, crazy successful business. So anyway, feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but that is the second step that you want to take. There's 3 motivators in your business. One is income. One is freedom, and that could be time freedom or money freedom. And then the third is feelings of contribution. You will have a difficult time doing all that you need to do if you're not feeling like you're giving back in some way, if there isn't some meaning attached to. And I don't mean your why. I don't mean like, why do you do this? You need to know the value that you are, and many of you have no idea what value. You think you're like every other agent. What distinguishes you from somebody else? A little later on in the call, I have a little exercise I'm going to have you guys do. and you're going to love it. You absolutely are going to love it. If that's okay with Miss Monica.
Yeah, sounds good. Love it.
Okay, cool. So those are your motivators. And if we aren't in touch with what our income goal is, what our freedom goal is, and how we want to make contribution, then we're kind of missing a key step of being a business owner. So I want you guys to really put your business owner hat on. You are the CEO. When you run into difficulty, what does a CEO's schedule look like? What are they doing on a day-to-day basis? What's the important thing that they're doing? To make that $500,000 business, lead generation better be part of it. So do it in a way that works. Again, we've got a lot of old-fashioned stuff out there that isn't working anymore. This is a totally different market. And we need to really sharpen the saw. Really sharpen the saw, get our skills up, and make sure that we're a competitor. So you're going to have to ask yourself, am I going to compete this year, or am I going to sit on the bench? You know, are you going to compete? Are you going to, a lot of agents are joining. Every agent I talk with in our programs, they're like, you don't know my market. There's 6,000 agents and only 16,000 people. It's like, yeah, I know your agents. I know your market, and it's just about differentiating yourself. So making agents wealthy. First, think bigger. 2, run your business like a business. 3, and I forgot 3. What's 3?
Know your motivation.
Know your motivation.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Know your motivation. Let me look at my notes here because I don't want to skip anything.
You know, one thing that I was reminded of while you're looking for that, when you said be a CEO and act like a CEO, this is something I see agents not acting like a lot. Like they're just working like a hamster wheel in their business, sort of. And a CEO sees the bigger picture. And the question is, if you were the CEO of your business and you had hired you, would you fire you? Like, how are you performing in your own business? Can you put on both hats and judge yourself as far as, are you showing up every day doing your lead gen or whatever you need to be doing?
Yeah, exactly. And you're right, it was motivation. So
okay, good.
It was actually contribution.
I'm paying attention. Yeah, contribution. Right.
And making sure that you have that. And that can be that airy-fairy side of the business, but I'll tell you, it is so important when you get at the higher levels. When you're a new agent and you're just starting out, you're just kind of scrambling. What my advice to brand new agents is, get your systems. Don't listen to the $30,000 a year folks that are trying to teach you how to make multiple 6 figures. 6 figures in this business is 1 transaction a month. I'm not saying that's not great. That's awesome. I don't know how to do that. When I came out of the basement and I want to share with you kind of where I went, because I had a dream, I had a vision that was bigger than my circumstances. You get that? You have a dream and a vision that is bigger than the circumstances that you see. In other words, the evidence you see around you is like, oh God, I got a shit show going on, or whatever. I have this life, this drama, right? So, but the vision has to be, I am building. So definitely take notes on this part, because I'm going to talk about what systems you guys need to have to build that $500,000 business. You have to have that vision that is, I am building something bigger than myself. I am building something that is going to be a great service to my clients. Putting yourself in a doctor-patient frame, if that makes sense. You are the doctor, your clients need your help. You're not calling them at 10 o'clock at night. They need your help. And so being available 24/7 is not where it's at. As soon as you start framing yourself in a way of a professional or a doctor-patient frame, people will respect your time and you will make more money. Well, Karen, how is that possible? Right? How is that possible? By not being available, you lift the vibration of your whole business and people respect that. And you will actually make more money. So first thing I always tell people is change your voicemail. Hey, it's Monica with XYZ Realty. Listen, it's Monica with XYZ Realty. Listen, thanks for calling. My hours are 9 to 7, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays by appointment. If you've reached this after hours, I will get back to you the next business day. Thanks so much for calling and have a great day.
Love it.
you're definitely positioning yourself and saying, look, if you've got an offer, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, I'm not going to call you back at 9 and 10 o'clock at night negotiating this. I might get 3 more offers in. I'm not trying to scam anybody. I'm just being a professional. So that's one of the first things. Position yourself. Be that agent of value. Believe that you have value. You might want to write a list of 50 things. What do people get from working with me? That would be important to know for your marketing, for your listing presentations, when you're working with buyers.
So Karen, just from experience, I think a lot of agents understand that idea, but they struggle with what is my unique selling proposition? What do I do better? Because when you don't know, you think everybody's better than you at what you do, right? You think even the people making more money, you assume they're better at their job, which, by the way, guys, they're not. So what are some things when we're first getting started or we just feel like we don't have that yet? Give us some help there.
Yeah, things that you can be of value. Well, I believe it is, again, in positioning and marketing. So it's not information that other agents don't have. They're just not communicating it in the way that I would teach a newer agent. For instance, they have no sales, right? No sales, no list of sales price. Find out what's going on in your office. Do you have better numbers than your local MLS? And start communicating. When someone asks you what you do, never say you're a realtor, number one. Always say, I work with my clients to buy and sell homes. We are selling our homes in average days on market, 2 days for 105% of asking. Say something along that, say a result. Communicate in results. Don't communicate in, I'm a realtor for, thinking that people are going to be, oh, okay. They put you in a category like everybody else, just like you said, Monica.
Okay, cool.
You don't want to be in the category with anybody else.
Right.
So start communicating in ways like that.
Perfect.
Or list the sales price. We're selling our homes for 105% of asking. Let's say it's a buyer and you want to convert them. You can tell them that we are saving our buyers thousands working with this particular lender, and we're beating out multiple offer situations. So that's something that you can tell. And also, if you are in an area where the inventory is so low, you can be telling these buyers, not telling them, but actually doing it, I find homes that aren't even on the market yet.
That's great. That's a great one.
I am in the mood, if I'm in the mode to buy, I'm going to do business with you because you're actually being very proactive. So yeah, that's a great question.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, what do you do? What else? Any questions on the chat?
Yes. Andrew says, can you tell the group a little bit more about running your business like a business?
Got it. Yeah, that's perfect entryway to what I was going to share.
Okay, good.
So running a business like a business is in the mornings when you wake up, it's like, what is my role? What is my job today? It always goes back to lead generation. And I don't mean door knocking and cold calling. It's in some form or fashion. It's having a system in place that is always working, whether you are or not. There are many systems that you can do, but you have to every day be working on those systems, whether, you know, I'm big with time management. I know you guys have heard this before. Do your hardest stuff in the morning. There's a reason for that, and I truly believe in it. 9 to 11, always working that lead generation machine, whatever it is. Now we have five to 7 at Making Agents Wealthy that we give out, that we teach, not give out, we teach. And what's that?
What are those, just generally speaking?
Know that. No, in general, it is. No, the first one is launching. It's how do you launch? How do you, if you've been in the business for a while, how do you relaunch? Got it. People just don't launch their business. I mean, they're like, they put their card out in an open house sign and they think you're in the business. So we're going to launch. That's the very first thing. Got it. Cool. The second thing that we layer on, again, it's like a cake, guys. You can't skip an ingredient. If you do, the cake's going to fail. So we really work on what you can't leave out. So then we're working on how to get 20 to 30 people into your listings right after you list it so that we're selling it in hours and not days, and how to create pin-up demand. We do talk about the marketing piece. It is the secret sauce to converting leads into buyers and sellers. It's not this conversation many times because they don't trust us. They don't know us.
Mm-hmm.
Our client, our sphere does, but everybody else doesn't. So
Right.
get into your marketing and your branding and how to do that in a very powerful way, effective way. And then we work with a very different way of working with for sale by owners and expireds to convert them. And we're getting about 4 to 5 appointments a week on that, even in this market where we don't have a lot of expireds and stuff.
Do you feel like is the overall secret sauce there in the follow-up because of that? Like in showing up again and again and again and being there in the right place?
Yeah, you know, ours is about a 15 to 20 page marketing piece. So I do believe that there is specific things in there that converts, but if you don't call back or you don't revisit them, you're not going to get the conversion.
Sure. Okay.
Follow-up is key.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then we work on leverage. We work on building teams in other states and other areas. Because not everybody wants to stay in the same geographical area, and they want to go to Florida, or they want to go to the mountains, or they want to go to Asheville.
That's right.
So yeah, so that's treating it like a business.
Right. Okay.
To that level. So
cool.
When I moved from the basement to business, I had this vision that I was telling you guys about. It was a vision of I'm creating a team that is going to dominate my local area. I went out, I didn't have any money. My mother had just passed and she left me, this is so funny. She left me $8,000 and I bought a beater up Expedition. I mean, there was a dent in the side. I would park 3 houses down from my listings. Because I was so embarrassed, listing appointments. And I took $1,500 and I put it aside. Now, you and I talked about this last time, Monica. This was my extreme accountability for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I hired a part-time admin. I didn't have one bit of business. I was literally, okay, my mother passed. Thank you, Mom. I mean, that's terrible, but at least I had money to eat, right?
Right.
And so I put that $1,500 aside, but here's the vision. I had the vision that if someone could be sitting in my chair, in my office, I would have to lead generate.
Mm-hmm.
Because I couldn't the first call I made, the guy said, F you and all this stuff. And I was in so much fear and anxiety around the phone. My palms would sweat. I couldn't speak in public, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I hired her part-time, 3 days a week, 10 hours a week, paid her $10 an hour, $10.99 her. That was $100 a week for 15 weeks. And I knew that if I wasn't making money at the end of that 15 weeks, that I would let her go. And I even told her, I said, let's do this for 15 weeks. And if it doesn't work, you and I will talk and we'll, part ways. So it wasn't a surprise. We were going to date. We weren't going to marry.
Right.
Well, we married very soon after that because the first month, 0 closings. Okay, great. I'm on the phones. I'm doing my system. I'm just throwing everything. I didn't know what worked. The second month, I closed 4. In the third month, I closed 8. And it was just wild. The 4th month, we had 16 closings.
Wow. But that was because in your first 30 days, each day, how many days were you either on the phone or doing whatever you were doing? Like you were in massive action, I'm guessing.
I was in massive action, but I was very succinct and disciplined about what it was. I only worked Monday through Thursday in the office. Fridays were flex days. But here is the thing. I immediately brought on folks to help me with all the buyer leads. I went to my strategic partners and I said, hey guys, this is what I'm building. Are you in or are you out? This is what I'm building.
Mm-hmm.
And we built it together. I brought in other agents. I didn't have to pay them till they sold something.
Yeah, smart.
And then I am just doing listings. I was in an accident, broke 3 ribs in that same period. And so I was out of the office for 3 weeks. And I'm like, oh my God, how did this happen?
That's crazy.
it was mindset. It was just, not mindset. It was absolute.
You had to do it, right. So let me ask you this. For those of us who are sitting here not homeless, that sounds funny, but like when you're homeless and you have a mouth to feed, you had a major built-in motivator, right? And while that was horrible for you, it also was probably what catapulted you into massive action, therefore massive success. So for those of the agents that are sitting on the call right now, and it's not a life or death situation, they've got another source of income, maybe at home, or, the house is paid for, whatever it is. What do you think agents can tap into that you had naturally, or where does that come from? It's more.
It is something that we do go over. We do talk about this a lot, and it is. I always ask, and you're familiar with Tony Robbins. I know all you guys are, and he always is like, we're either running away from pain or running towards pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I was running away from a ton of pain, and there was nothing. Money's never been my motivator. Mm-hmm. It's probably not most people's. Yeah. If you can get deep enough into what motivates you, and every single morning look at that. And so we have a sheet that we give out, and it says, what's your painful motivators? Like, I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to bounce checks. I don't want to be worrying about food or making my husband happy or whatever it might be. There's all kinds of worries. And then looking at what are your pleasurable motivators. And I think we're somewhere in between. I think we all have a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be things. It doesn't have to be the yacht or the house or the this, that, and the other. The most powerful positive motivator that I have heard from agents is, I just want to be the best that I can be. Mm-hmm. I want to know that when I go to bed every night, I have done all that I can do, that I am expressing my highest potential. Because I know if I fail at this, I'm just going to go to something else and fail at that and fail at the next thing and fail at the next thing.
Oh, I like that. So just the honor and integrity of yourself and what you say you're going to do, you do, and not playing small.
Right. Not playing small. And it's no fun to wake up to your mediocre self every day. It's not.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes, that's.
Yeah.
You
just wake up and go, why am I doing this again?
That's good. My mediocre self. No, I like that. Hopefully that's resonating with people. I think that's really good.
Yeah. So, as far as the systems, the being a business, treating it like a business, you have a responsibility to yourself, your team, your family, and maybe you have no intentions of starting a team, but you need to get really accountable to yourself. You need to get skilled. You need to know what the right systems are. You need to be doing the right things in this market. There's just, for those of you who are go-getters, there's only 3 things that really stand in your way from the kind of success you want, whatever that means to you. And it's being resourceful, it's being coachable, it's being hardworking. There's no way around it. I wish there was a pill, and there just really isn't. There isn't a pill, except for mindset. I do say that mindset is the magic pill many of the time.
That is. How do you keep your mindset in the right frame on a daily basis? What are your practices?
Yeah. Do you guys want me to go deep or you want me to go shallow? I'm being very transparent. No, I meditate every morning. I do. I meditate and I go into prayer. I am not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual. And I know for a fact that there is no way I would be where I am today without that connection that I have with my God,
higher power. Yeah.
Higher power, and whatever that is for anybody. And so here's what I do in that meditation. I listen more than I talk. I listen, and I always ask the question, what is my one inspired action today? The root of inspired is in spirit. My spirit, your spirit, whatever spirit. What is that one inspired action? And it's always about who I can help, who I can lift up, how I can build my business. And the hardest thing is following through. because sometimes it's kind of cray-cray, you know. It's like, call this person, you haven't talked to them in forever, and you're like, oh, I don't want to.
Oh, I love
Whatever
it.
the first thing that comes into your mind.
And those are they call them promptings, right? They're for a reason. Act on them. We self-doubt ourselves out of our promptings all the time.
Yeah.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being crucial to your success, your morning routine, which that's probably a part of, how important is that?
Oh, that's probably more important than anything. Besides having your license and, you know, being, you know, skilled at, you know, I don't know. I think it's the most important thing. I really do, Monica.
I agree.
Number one, it is number one, taking that time, and it can be just 15 minutes. 15 minutes, and it can be journaling, it can be gratitude, it can be just listening to something positive, reading something positive, but always know that you are more powerful than you think you are. So is it okay to share the exercise I wanted everybody to do?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. So you'll never hear a speaker say this, but go ahead and get your cell phone out. And I want you to pull up your contacts or text message, and I want you to text 3 people. I want you to text them, what do you think makes me different from everybody else? What do you think makes me valuable, different, unique as an agent or a person? It doesn't have to be a business.
So past client, preferably, because they work with you, or not necessarily?
No, not necessarily. It can be friends, family, typically not a spouse, because they'll say some very interesting things.
Right.
What makes me special? So, go ahead and just cut and paste and do that now.
Okay, let's give that language again for people. So what should they text?
They should say, you know, I'm on this, you can say, I'm on this webinar and the speaker is asking me to reach out and ask, what makes me special, different, unique as a person or as a real estate agent? What do you think makes me valuable, unique, different?
Wow, I love this exercise. Guys, if you are hesitating doing this, you are robbing yourself. Do this.
It is amazing some of the things that come back.
That's cool. Yeah, good exercise, Karen. I like that.
Yeah. So while you guys are doing that, let me just tell you the power of it. People will come back to you. They're your mirror, right? They see things about you we don't see about ourselves. We just think we're an agent, and they say, oh my gosh, you're so caring, you're so compassionate. I have had people break down in tears at conferences by doing this when they because they never knew that they were so, and some of them are funny, some of them are flippant, so don't be upset if something profound doesn't come through. But take that and know that that is and incorporate it into your business. You're not separate from your business, guys. You are your business. You are your personal life. You're married. You're not. Your kids. It's all one. You're 100% you. So be authentic with all of it. And don't be scared. If someone says, gosh, you're just the salt of the earth, you're just so down to earth, you're so nice, then play it up. You have a radio voice. You are amazing on the phone. Play it up. And I want you to know, just to know these things about yourself.
I mean, you used the word authentic in your coaching approach. Is that what you help agents do, is sort of stand in who they are and magnify that, right?
Yeah. We do a lot of, we want everyone to come from an authentic, natural, everything's customized. We don't do, it's not coach in a can, basically. And I don't know who is, but I'm just saying it's very customized to the client, what their strengths are. And that's the only way to roll. Because as you know, Monica, if you don't, you're going to burn out. You're going to try and be somebody you're not. You're going to be, you're going to have commission breath. You're going to, it's going to be rough.
You're right.
You don't want to build a business like that.
No. There's a story of a guy who was always showing up in his suit. He was a younger kid, and he just was struggling finding those first couple clients to get his business going. And somebody said to him, like, is this what you would wear normally? Like, is this you? And he's like, oh, God, no, this is horrible. And he said, what would you wear? He goes, like, t-shirt and a hat. He goes, wear that, and start showing up. And it was like magic, because he was trying to be somebody he wasn't, right?
Yes, yes. And oh gosh, people, even if you don't say it, people smell it, they sniff it out, they hear it in your voice when you call. When you're calling, if you call people, if you're like, hi, this is Karen Coffey with XYZ Realty. Listen, I saw where your home came on our computer as an expired this morning. I assume you still want to sell your home. Is that correct? Oh my God, somebody poked me in the eye. Nobody wants to hear that for the 40th time that morning when somebody, no, that's not authentically anybody. Except me, I don't know. Who is authentic to?
Work for somebody somewhere. But yeah, if it's not you, stop worrying about it. Right?
Doing it. That's right. Yeah. So guys, keep texting. If you get some responses, I would love to see those in the chat. What did somebody say? Did somebody say anything that shocked you? Anything that surprised you? Definitely share with us if there's anything.
Please do. I would love to see that.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So do you have anything else, or you want me to ask you a question?
Yeah. If there's questions online, that's fine. I'll be happy to answer them. No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Okay, so most people on here have access to Espresso Agent right now. And I'm guessing in most markets, they're more for sale by owners showing up than expireds. I don't know if you're seeing that where you are right now, of course.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of expireds at all.
For the expireds that do come through, because it would be unusual and there's clearly something going on with that house if it doesn't sell, price or condition or something, right? Yeah. What are you seeing, and what is the tactic to really take advantage of that expired when there shouldn't be one right now?
Right. They're definitely, well, we know they're overpriced or they're really just extremely overpriced, or it smells, or there's lead everywhere. I don't know. Right. If, the tactic that I would suggest, because they've tried everything else, they're not really happy with the agents that, I would just go out and see if you could create a 15-minute appointment with them. I can't share with you exactly what we would do on that appointment because that would not be respectful to our clients. But yeah, there is a way. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, what can I share? What can I share? What can I share?
Yeah, high level approach versus details.
High level approach is definitely reaching out to them. Like I said, most agents are using that script of, hey, I saw your home came up as a computer, or they're using the script of, hey, I have a buyer, can I come preview your home? Oh God. Guys, no, everybody, and they'll say that. So you've got to come with value. What does an expired listing want more than anything?
Answers to why it didn't sell? I don't know.
Answers to why it didn't sell, but they want a buyer, yes.
They want a buyer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about more than one buyer?
Mm-hmm.
What about 3 or 4?
Mm-hmm.
So get in front of them, bring them 3 to 4.
Got it.
Make it happen.
Yeah, cool.
Give them your pre-listing package, which is the conversion secret sauce. And I'm not telling you what's in that either. I know she's going to ask. She's going to be like, what's in it? No.
I'm just channeling through the people on the call.
I know.
I know they want to. So what does it look like to get into your coaching program, and can somebody have like an initial consult with you to see if it's a fit, or what does that look like?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways. We have actually a presentation, a webinar that is plays once a day, and it is at KarenCoffey.com/making agents wealthy.
All right, I'm going to write this into the chat. KarenCoffey.com/making
agents wealthy.
And
we go into more detail about the system that we use. So they'll definitely be able to do that. And then if they just don't want to know the systems, or I would start there. But if they just want to talk, there is a link, KarenCoffey.com/apply. And it's apply to speak to one of our coaches. And it is a 1-hour in-depth. It is not selling you. It is if it's a fit, if there's something that we can do, we'll do it. If we can't, will push you in the direction of someone else. So it's very relaxed and chill.
Well, that seems like that would be worth it no matter what.
Yeah, and that's at the end of the presentation, the webinar. So my suggestion would be watch the presentation of how we're actually getting more clients and it's not old-fashioned systems and the new way of doing things, and then apply to talk to one of us. So it's myself and my team. We set aside time within the next 48 hours typically
to do that. Okay. So of course, taking advantage of your coaching group, of course, would make most sense. However, just talk about the importance of coaching in general. Next to the morning miracle, is it the most important thing?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I've had coaches and not had coaches. No one ever hired a coach to have a coach, guys. Never in the history of coaching did anyone hire a coach. They hired a coach to get a result. We are not interested in coaching you. We're not interested in how many tick marks and how many hash marks. It is about a result and how to get you that result. So the importance of coaching is not just for accountability, it's for the systems, it's for the skill, it's for the plug and play. Here it is, use it. But let me teach you how to use it. And we have, these coaches in general have spent hours split testing, going over different programs, knowing what works and what doesn't. When I don't have a coach in my own business, I can look at the numbers and see the decline. There, you can Google it, statistics on business coaching, and you can see the income increase of those who do. Is it scary? Yeah. But not really. Would you go to Vegas and put 500 down if you knew you were going to get 50,000?
Right.
Yeah. Would you put 10,000 down if you knew you were going to get 100,000?
Do you think that people don't trust themselves? It's not that they don't, of course, these coaches are great and they'll show me what to do. It's I'm not ready, or my mind's not right, or I'm not all in, right? Is it more about the agent?
It is, because I'll tell you, if you're wanting success, you cannot have that mindset of, I don't trust me. You can say, I don't know how to do it. I need someone to teach me, help me, hold my hand, be in my back pocket, be there whenever I need them. Yes, you can say that. But you have to know and realize that you got to be committed. You've got to be decisive. You've got to be hardworking, but not to the detriment of your family and friends. Literally, we're doing 20 to 30 hours a week is all we're talking about if you do it right. And if you're working more than that, then you're not doing it right, in my opinion, my humble opinion. So yeah, I do think they have a struggle with this time is going to be like last time. There are 5 things, let's see if I can remember them, that really get in the way of moving forward in your business. Fear, obviously, confusion, regret, discouragement, and other people. What will other people think? I am afraid I'm going to fail again. So if I don't put myself out there, I don't have to go through those emotions or that pain. Regret, I've done it in the past and it didn't work, so it won't work this time, that sort of thing. So yeah, you have to make a commitment, and we just want people who are committed and ready to roll, because it's fast, it's intense, but that's, why wait? Why wait a year or 2 or 3 if you can do it? Just do it now.
Do it now.
Do it now. We're in such a good market. Oh my God.
I'm going. Let's go.
I'll meet you.
Okay.
I'll drive the motor home. Well, the driver will get me there.
I want in on that motorhome. I like it.
It's fun. It's awesome.
Fear, you bring up fear, and I think that's like the universal language of salespeople's failure is from fear, basically. Because, right, I would think, most people I see go out and try something, have some level of success one way or the next. It's the fear of even trying. Talk to us about a fear of yours that you had that you've overcome, or one you're facing and fighting now, or a failure that was epic and epically good in the end, or something like that can help us know that even though we feel that way, you felt that way and you've conquered it in some way.
You only want one? There's so many failures? Oh my gosh. Well, one of the failures was I opened up a team in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I shouldn't say that. Well, it was Raleigh and Nashville, and I didn't take my time.
Mm.
I was excited, and I just went forward, and we had to shut them down. So that's probably the most recent failure. But I knew, I looked at it and learned from it, obviously.
Sure.
I didn't quit. That's the key. I didn't go, oh, we're not going to open up any more teams. They all suck. Agents are crazy, right?
That's it.
I looked at it and said, Karen, what did you do wrong? And I just didn't take my time. I wasn't slow enough, and I didn't hire the talent that I needed to. Not that they weren't talented people.
Sure.
It's just that it wasn't a right fit.
Right people, right job. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Instead of contribution, I kind of went into greed, to be honest. I was like, oh, this is easy. I can do this at any market, anywhere. I'm just flipping switches everywhere. And no, you don't want to. Yeah.
Interesting.
But as far as, business, and not, I think, more relevant to those who are watching, when I started my coaching business because other agents saw our success in that market and they wanted me to coach them. And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm going to keep my systems, and I'm going to.
Yeah.
I went into coaching, and I'd like to say that it was successful, and it wasn't. In the first probably two years, I really struggled. Now, I was making money, but I wasn't making it at the level that I knew I could. And what it came down to, I wasn't making the impact that I knew I could. When I started making the impact is when I started making the money that I wanted to make.
And that translates to agents making impact in their clients' lives. How?
So it's listening. It is not about selling their house. It's not. Selling their house is just a symptom of what's going on in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what's going on in their life? Do you care? Can you help them? If not, get out of the business and let somebody else help them. It is about finding out what they really need. Do they need hand-holding? Do they need somebody that knows what they're doing, that can get, that's sold in 2 days? It really is changing their lives in a positive way. Not burn and churn. It's more relational, not transactional, where we're creating relationships. And I know we have all sorts of different ways of doing this, but I think it goes on a deeper level. It really is becoming friends with them, being authentically yourself, and listening to what they need.
You know what that just did for me in my mind, and hopefully some of the attendees, is that takes the sort of the pressure off. Oh, I have to be an agent that has sold 1,000 houses in order to be good to these clients. It actually is just, hey, do you care? Do you care, A, about them, and B, about building a reputation in the business as somebody that shows up and comes from contribution, right? So you took the pressure off that ability. I don't have to be the best at whatever, selling houses. That's realtor. That's neat. That's really cool.
It is business changing. It really is. It's life changing. It's business changing. And when you get those text messages back, and you can even say, I'm voted by my friends and family on my text messages. Yeah. This is what makes me different. This is what makes me unique. There is no competition. We all have asshole agents. I'm sorry. We all have asshole agents in our markets, right? Pick the 3 in your market and don't be like them.
That's right.
Be like you, and know that is different. That's what people are seeing and expecting, but yet you show up and you're just amazing. You warm. You make them. Just show up.
Diane got some feedback. The ability for her to speak her mind and honestly tell people how she sees things. So being sincere.
Oh, very good. And how does that translate to a skill in real estate?
Huge.
Communication. Being able to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. There's no gray.
Well, and imagine starting off the conversation with, do I have your permission to be honest? I'm going to show you what I see about the dynamics of the market right now, because I think you need the truth. And it might not be pretty. It might, but I don't know. But we're going to come up with it together, and I'm going to be the one that's going to show you.
That's right. And you deserve the truth.
and you deserve the truth. Yeah, cool. Love that. Any last questions? We have just a few more minutes. Karen, this has been really cool and eye-opening in a lot of ways, and hopefully for folks. See, this thing isn't about skill set of like the widgets of selling real estate. It's just not. That happens. That'll happen as you do more and more business. This is so much more than that, and you help to sort of bring some of that to light today.
Oh, good. I think there are right widgets and wrong widgets. There's a lot of shiny objects.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
And just, but there's probably only 5. When there's only 5.
Right.
Now we're inundated with 105 a day.
Yes.
In this Facebook ad and this and that and the other. And if you can just go, okay,
Yep.
I'm going to focus on these 5. You're focused
Yep.
5.
That's true.
And then you're outperforming everybody and you're not spending all your money chasing after leads that don't work.
Good deal. Well, where's your motorhome going next?
We are going to Tucson, Arizona next.
Sweet. Where are you right now? What part of the country are you in?
I am just outside of Knoxville right now.
Okay.
So Knoxville, Tennessee, and I was in Georgia, I guess 2 weeks ago, Florida before then. Where was I before then? New Orleans and San Antonio, Texas.
Wow.
So this is hashtag freedom. I'll tell you, this is very different for me. Yeah.
No doubt. I hope you're doing like journaling or writing a book about your experiences on the road.
I am. And great people, meeting some fantastic people, fantastic agents. And yeah, it's been good. So thank you so much for having me on here. And guys, I look forward to seeing you elsewhere.
You're awesome, and you're quite the inspiration, and we all can, if you can come from the basement to where you are, we can all do it too. And
I hope you never have to, but let's just skip that basement part.
That's amazing. You're amazing. Thank you for your time, guys. If you want to rewatch this, it'll be on Espresso Agent's YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more of these great webinars as well. Karen, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Monica. Have a great time in Asheville.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.